Hi, I'm Leon Springer, the owner and founder of DripWorks.
I'm Chris White with DripWorks. I'm here today with Matt and Evan with Steep Hill Farm.
Hey Chris, thanks for coming out today.
Matt, good to see you.
Great to see you as always.
Evan.
So today we're going to tell the story about how we met at the Tomato Festival in Cloverdale, and you convinced us that we needed drip irrigation and irrigation in general because we were hand watering all of our plants and it took forever.
So that spring, came out to the farm, visit you and Evan, and come up with the plan, and to see where that plan has evolved from. It's pretty cool. It's amazing, and this is a good opportunity for everybody to see how it starts, you know. And
yeah,
because we had a lot of issues we had to work with, flow and pressure, the key elements of irrigation, and we had to deal with that when we were first starting out. And now you got your infrastructure and you're into your fertigation stuff, and things are growing as they should be in business.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, where do you start when it comes to drip irrigation system? And from your design, you came in and showed us how to deliver the water to our certain zones. And so we're able to say, this is what we call the main flower room. We're gonna run an 1¼ inch line, taper it down to a 1-inch manifold, and then we have 3/4 inch feeding each one of these beds. And from that system, it was just all about the delivery, whether it was the drip tape, which is the more economical. This is called the drip tubing. So down underneath here, you see we have our drip tubing. These are flush valves, keep everything clean and plugging up. So this is a 3/4 inch line that feeds all the sprinklers. I believe there's around 30 per row. This is one of the Netafim downflow sprayers that we're working with. And they just come apart. If they do get plugged, it's in this section here. So we've bought extras of these sprayers, and we're able to swap them out if and when they do get plugged. And so it just plugs right back in. You can even do this while they're running, and bam, it's good to go. Yeah, it would take 3 people 1 hour to water this room, and now it takes 1 person an hour, and they can be doing other things. They can be multitasking while the sprayers or drippers are going. So that's pretty substantial when you look at your labor hours and your labor budget of the week, is we're able to put more labor hours into taking care of the plant instead of just maintaining the root zone, just watering all day long. And I love watering. Ask anybody out here. That's my favorite thing to do, is smoke a joint and hand water, listen to some tunes, and just zone out, right? Yeah. But like, you get burnt out over it. As much as I love watering, I get burnt out. Being able to throw a couple levers and flip some switches and just walk away and set my timer is game changing.
So what do we have here on the left?
That is ice cream cake.
Ice cream cake. This whole field is ice cream cake. And then this is what we call the flats up here. This is some GMO cookies, some Jade OG, and some mochi gelato. All right, well boys, you're the experts. What are we looking at here?
So we got the 1/2-inch emitter tubing. These are spaced every 9. That tubing comes in different spacing for the emitter. This one has to be 9-inch. This tubing against Airtech, 50 mils, made right here in California. The Schedule 2 recyclables. Actually comes with the tubing, and then this actually has a diverter on it. So instead of going up and out, this actually diverts the water out and down. And so again, this gives you good coverage for if you're going to top dress or if you're going to feed through it. They're pressure compensating, so that on uneven terrain, both these products are great for uneven terrain.
Right now you want all of them open because everything's exposed and the canopy hasn't filled in yet. But once this canopy fills in, you're really only going to want water in this more exposed south side, because right here is where it's drying out fastest. And then in the center, it's all covered. So you want less water in the middle, more on the outsides. And the sprayers are coming on right now. It'll spray down.
Brings in the pollinators.
This particularly is southeast, which gets the most exposure on this hillside. Our southwest exposure is blocked a little bit by these trees, which is nice because it's actually too exposed out here, where we've been fighting to come out into the light. as cannabis growers, and you know, you kind of hide your plants, and then now all of a sudden you're legal, so you can put them right in the middle of the field and like big old FU to the sky.
Right.
But we're also finding that they're stressed out and they don't like it when it's 110 degrees in the middle of the field. So then we're finding like the shade cloth, and you know, the irrigation system allows us to do little spritzers, we call them. So when it's real hot, we'll just give them a spritzer, and it just really helps plant health.
Definitely got to get a happier, healthier plant with consistent watering.
So basically what we have here is we have our 3-inch main coming in from our storage tanks that's been filtered and pH adjusted to 6.0. And then we come into our manifold setup here where we have 2 injectors, so we can run these at the same time separate. And as it comes down after the injectors, it goes into a filter. We have a water meter just on one of the injectors so that we can time and measure certain zones so we know exactly how much water we're giving, correlate that into how much nutrients that we're giving it, and make sure we're not over or underdoing it. And then we can take that math and run it through injector number 2, the same, and we can kind of get a rough draft on how much water is coming through the main manifold. Then from here we have 3 upper zones. These are all individual zones. This is the main flower room that we were just in, so that each one has a dedicated 1.25 inch line. All these can run at the same time.
Basically, this is the foundation of your expansion. So every year you can grow, and this is the heart, and you're just going to keep growing.
Yeah, this can do more than what we have here. This is more than enough for this whole grow.
You know, I believe that drip irrigation started in the 70s in California. Maybe it started in the 40s and 50s in Israel, but we at DripWorks really look for this as the mark of a finished product we are proud of, by sprayers that are efficient, by the customers that we have that produce the finest crop in the world. I call this oh my.
Oh my, OG?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's a new one. Yeah, let's go check out the plants that they haven't chopped down yet over here. Watch out for all the drip tubing. You can see the drip tubing hanging over here. This is a southwest side, so we actually like to get it to penetrate more over here, one of those little custom pieces, but you can see the chunkiness, which is basically just water efficiency right here. We're actually at a point now where we're realizing we might put down too much water. So that's kind of the next phase. Is the biggest problem people have is they overwater their plants. So being able to really dial that in.
And how do you look at your plant to see how they're getting overwatered?
I mainly look at the root zone, but if you dig down in here, you're gonna find moisture. So right now, this plant root zone has plenty of moisture. The only reason I would irrigate this is if it needed nutrients. And so I'm not necessarily watering the plant, I'm feeding it what it wants at various stages of the flower growth. Yeah, we're actually in bedroom number 3 right now. And so when we first met, there was just one bedroom.
One over there.
Just one bedroom, one main flower room, and then another little hoop that we built with leftover parts that we called the bonus room. It was always going to be like our vacation money, but it always just went right back into infrastructure. So farming, huh?
Yeah,
what are you going to do?
Not a business.
Yeah, the bonus room was more like the stay alive room as prices tanked.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's amazing how far it's come since, well, we've known each other 4 or 5 years.
5 years, and it's
Yeah.
like I said, I've said it more than once. It's cool to be able to see how it's evolved. And I think the first time I came out, went to the Yorkville market, had a great lunch, a couple beers, and then got to check out the farm and just with you and Evan. And it's cool seeing some of the same employees year after year that you've had here.
Yeah.
And says a lot about you guys and as you're at a farm.
Yeah.
I mean, it's amazing.
I would say what I really like about working with you is the fact that when we first started, we weren't a very big account. I don't even know if we're that big of an account now, but you had the time to spend with us. You know what I mean? Like, I always appreciated that you came to the farm and we weren't this beautiful mega grow or anything. We were just kind of him and I out here putting together a little system, and you know, you had the time to spend with us, you know, despite being relatively small, you know, and then to grow, you know, or at least seeing maybe the potential of the future with us. But it was always nice early on that you had that.
It's a business, but it's also it's friendship, and you know, it's based on relationships. And so when you be able to come and hang out and maybe go to lunch, have a few beers, or just come to the farm and check it out to see how everything and how hard you guys work and your crew works, and just to see again how it's evolved into this basic example of how things should be, and how you treat your employees, the quality of your product, and then how you guys are steward of the lands. I mean, you got family history here, and how you guys have basically become steward of the lands.
We're so happy to be here, so happy to help you guys out.
Thank you.
Beautiful,
No, it's been a great
beautiful
relationship. It really has.